This is 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Yahweh may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, pushing this word with truth, sincerity, with charity, presenting your bodies a living sacrifice. We are ready to live. Salute you. So I just want to go into a quick lesson. It's a bit of a land back off my elders lesson. Salaki, it kind of disappeared. Here it is. It's my elder Bara. He did a lesson. There's a spiritual war for your mind. Alright? Okay? Alright, and the way you combat, and the elder was going into, how he had been spiritually attacked in his mind by demons. I may even use his picture for a thumbnail. But that's something we go through, man. And the way we combat that is excuse me, sorry about that. The way we combat that is through these scriptures, right? That's why I read it again. This is 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh. Because, without this inspiration, without the Lord breathing that breath into you, which is giving you the spirit, you're not going to be able to do these lessons. And it's profitable for doctrine, right? It's profitable for doctrine, right? Because the doctrine is very important, unlike how some camps would say. For reproof, right? Okay, whether you're reproving others or you're being reproved through these scriptures, or you even reproving yourself, because a lot of times, for the most part, we have to reprove ourselves. As the scripture says, if we judge ourselves, we would not be judged, right? For correction, right? For instruction in righteousness, right? For instruction, in which way to go, which way to walk, how to move. That the man of Yahweh may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works, right? And the scriptures also says what? The word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is quick, sharp, powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword. Let me just get it. Excuse me. Okay. Alright. Yeah, it's also in Hebrews. This is Hebrews 4:12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So, and with a sword, you can cut, right? And any good swordsman, any good swordsman has been cut by his own sword or another sword before, okay? You don't get to a professional status of a swordsman without cutting yourself and being cut by others. All right, it's just something that's gonna happen, and that's how it is in this truth. you know, and also, what spiritually, with the elders' lesson spiritually led me to, conclusion to he led me to come to is also, we're at war with ourselves. So a lot of times we gotta cut ourselves, man. A lot of times it's a spiritual mirror match. You know what I mean. You know, a lot of times it's also with a sword. Swords aren't just used to hurt enemies, man. Because on the battlefield, if I'm on the battlefield, let's say, you know, I'm injured. I got a piece of metal lodged in my leg or my arm. Well, that sword that I used to war with can now become a surgical tool. Okay, if it's something I need to, you know, um, correct right away. Look, I don't got time to get to no doctor. I'm in the heat of the battle. All right, this sword is now a surgical tool for myself now. Now I need to put it in the fire, and heal my own wound. Man. It was a scene like that in the movie Braveheart. In the begin like towards the beginning scenes when all the clans was coming together, right? There was a war, fight. One of his men got hurt. They had to put one of the swords in the fire and use it to cauterize his wound so he didn't, bleed out. You know, so with this sword, you know, we gotta know when to cut ourselves, man. We gotta know when to use it for a surgical tool as well. You know, that's why we get on these other camps that just want to cut people, man. It's not always just about cutting people, man. You know, it's about cutting. For the most part, it's about cutting knowing how to cut ourselves, man. You know, because that's who we're truly in war with. And when you do have a spiritual wound, because the serpent will wound you, man. You know, the serpent will wound you, man. The this world will wound you. You know, your own actions could wound you. Well, you got to use this sword at that point to help heal you, man. You know, I get another scripture. Um, Let me get one right. All right. Uh, this is Matthew 5. We started. It's Matthew 5:29. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profit for thee that one of thy members should perish, and that thy whole body should be cast, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that the whole body should be cast into hell. You know, all right. Now we use that for members of the body that get excommunicated, which is true. You know, all right. You know, but even on a macro level, if there's things that you're attaching to or are attaching to you that are detrimental to the spiritual growth that you need to have, that needs to be cut off as well. Just like a brother that's or a man that is not that is a detriment or a cancer to the body. Okay. Either way, it's still spiritual surgery using a cutting instrument, which that's pretty much what a sword is. You know, you know. So war is not just you cutting somebody else. You know, war is on the battlefield. If you watch war movies like one of my favorite war movies is Saving Private Ryan. All right, and you had guys that were on the battlefield, and it showed you that they were soldiers. They will shoot and kill somebody. They will if they have to defend themselves and all that. But their main objective, their job, was to go throughout the battlefield and heal those who they could heal. Or they'll go to one guy. All right, this guy's dead. There's nothing we could do for him. Or they'll go to this guy. Okay, look, seal up this wound, walk the bam, give him a little bit of morphine. All right, we got to get to the next guy. Same, and that's what it is. That's also warfare. That's also warfare. It's not just you cutting somebody else. You know. Yeah, I'm thinking about this scene also in Predator, Predator 2, the one with Danny Glover, which wasn't bad. But the Predator, there was a scene where the Predator was wounded, he was injured, and he was in a bathroom and he had to heal himself. He had to, his arm was, one of his hands was cut off. He had to, cut himself up and, heal himself. That's also a part of this truth. So when we're under attack by these demons and we're being spiritually wounded, sometimes we got to scurry off the battlefield for a second, heal up our wounds, and then get right back in the fight. I say all that to say that, But yeah, it's a little spiritual, this is a little lesson I wanted to do. It was, just based off what the elder was saying in his lesson. Just a little I heard from it. I didn't watch all of it yet, but I'm planning on doing that right now, actually. But we all get attacked, and sometimes we get wounded, man, in our mind, and it's a spiritual war, and that's what's going to happen. But yeah, this is a little lesson I wanted to do. Hope it was edifying, and shalom.